So, Kotaku has put out yet another scathing article blasting Ready or Not, written by Ethan Gach, I believe is how you pronounce it. The headline reads, "Controversial Steam bestseller Ready or Not is an unsettling SWAT fantasy." We're going to go through it all here. If you guys like the video, leave a like on it and subscribe for more FPS content and industry discussion. A little history here. Last week, Kotaku put out an article discussing Team 17 leaving and splitting with Void Interactive, and they made the assumptions and they wanted to infer to their audience that the reason why the split happened was due to the controversial school shooter level that is slated to come to Ready or Not. If you guys missed my video on that whole topic, I'm going to have it linked down below as well as in the top of your screen. Since then, Void Interactive has doubled down and they said, yes, this is going to be happening. And since then, a lot of controversy has apparently been thrown their way. And I find that every other day, Void Interactive needs to be doing something on social media by posting paragraphs written on, black backgrounds. I saw a tweet, Void Interactive, they say, "We'd like to start out by saying that Void Interactive does not support or condone any form of racism, bigotry, or alt-right views, and any such views will never be tolerated by our development team or in our community." And when I saw this, I was like, oh, I wonder what this is in response to. They say, "We have a diverse team of developers and contractors from many parts of the world and strive to create a welcoming environment for our player base. Additionally, while our game touches on hard realities and mature topics, we have no intention for it or for any other games that we may produce to be a conduit for hate." Now, this was interesting. I don't know what it's referencing. We're going to get into the article here in a little bit. So, regarding the level props that have been mentioned, these are placeholder assets that were put in place to fill otherwise bare spaces and were supplied by a contractor that we no longer use. These assets will be replaced as we continue to develop the game. In an early access game, yeah, imagine that. Some of the things are going to be, subject to change. Who would have thought? Regarding the red pill boxes specifically, now this is where it gets fucking hilarious. These were intended solely as a reference to the Matrix movie, obviously Neo choosing the red pill or the blue pill. A noggin jogger is slang for an activity or a challenge that messes with the mind and is commonly used as a reference to complex puzzles or brain teasers. We take these allegations quite seriously and rest assured that the development team was not aware of any hateful connotation with the aforementioned props. And then they go on to say that it's worth noting that we were cautious about issuing a statement to Kotaku, given that in the past they have produced articles with misleading headlines regarding our mutual split with publisher Team 17. We're saddened to see that this has happened again, but we're looking forward to and will continue to correct the record whenever we can. So then we go over to Kotaku. An article written by Ethan Gach, "Controversial Steam bestseller Ready or Not is an unsettling SWAT fantasy." And already in the first paragraph, it's a fucking joke. Ready or Not is a tactical horror game where you creep through sprawling mazes of American decay, searching for violent suspects amidst cowering bystanders. Steam currently loves it, but after spending a few hours with it, I can't say I do. At its best, it's an admirably tense puzzle game, punctuated by twitchy shootouts, but it's also a violent political fantasy with no capacity for self-interrogation. Deployed across poor neighborhoods, car dealerships, and gas stations, your job is to methodically breach and clear labyrinth-sized levels until all of the bad guys are in custody or dead. Fail to execute each encounter according to the proper rules of engagement, and you'll be chastised with failing grades at the end of each level, like a bad score in Dance Dance Revolution. And the reason why this is worded this way is because he's trying to paint the picture that no matter what happens, if you kill a civilian, if you do this or that, if you break the rules of engagement, you're not really punished outside of a bad score, as in, Dance Dance Revolution. That's already where this article is going. Even before it blew up on Steam, Ready or Not sparked controversy and lost its publisher after one of its developers seemingly recommitted to adding a school shooting level. So already they have doubled down on their first article. The controversy that was surrounding Ready or Not was because of Kotaku putting out the idea that the split was because of a school shooter level when it's already been confirmed by multiple sources that it wasn't that at all. I just put out a video on Hell Let Loose yesterday where I brought up the idea of Team 17 potentially wanting to buy the IP like they did with Hell Let Loose. Why isn't that being written about? The answer to that, I'm sure you guys can already guess, is because Kotaku already has an agenda that they're trying to push forward, and it keeps going. players on the game's Discord fantasized about which gear they'd use to hunt down the shooter in this prospective scenario. Yeah, God forbid we'd want to play the hero in a video game taking down, a violent criminal. No, that can't be it. We need to flip the script. Cops are bad because, the political reasons, and anybody who likes these games are psychopaths that fantasize about taking down criminal scum. There's a part in the article where it says, Ready or Not's realism is effective enough to disturb, but too shallow not to descend into farce, or worse, Blue Lives Matter cosplay with fascist overtones and alt-right dog whistles. This is an absolute hit piece being promoted on the front page of Kotaku by somebody who has an agenda, and it's just sad to see that this is the fucking state of games journalism today. An Easter egg in the game's starting headquarters area consists of a discarded red pill box in a trash can with the words noggin joggers on the side, which some have interpreted as 4chan speak for the N-word. And then you click on the link that references where this interpretation is coming from, and it takes you to a Know Your Meme page about a jogger, which is like the Pepe jogger. Now, obviously, we read the response. Void has already clarified where that comes from. They go on to discuss the cringy voice lines in which one of them says, my mom has a Mexican maid, you might know her. There's already a mute cringy voice lines mod to remove it, though Void Interactive announced it also has plans to replace it in a later update. And I will say, the voice lines are super cringy, but when we're talking about looking at a box in a trash can that most players won't even notice, and then going into the voice lines, and then going into just all of this useless shit, it makes it look like the person writing this article is just attacking for the sake of attacking. I'm going to finish going through this article, and then I'm going to discuss what Kotaku is actually doing here. They keep going, and they say, amidst these disorienting tonal shifts, which range from the juvenile to openly racist, there are incredibly grim moments, like when you come across a child writhing in pain in her pink bedroom. Wounded civilian clear and prep for evac, your SWAT officer says in his RoboCop voice. Whether because Ready or Not remains an incredibly bare-bones early access game, or because Void Interactive lacks the sophistication, it makes the entire affair feel crass and exploitative. And going through the article, the next one says, this hasn't stopped Ready or Die from receiving a flood of positive user reviews. What the hell is Ready or Die? But this is where it gets really funny. Some, no doubt, because they see it in the seeds of the faithful successor to the old SWAT games, and thus a return to the kind of slow, tactical, claustrophobic gunplay that even games like Rainbow Six Siege have mostly abandoned. I would say probably 99 or even 100% of people that like Ready or Not like games like Rainbow Six of old, Ghost Recon of old, SWAT of old, and this is a quality successor to those games in a world where we can't get them off the ground because of shit like this. But then he goes on to say others likely like it because of the way it drapes that gameplay in strong man cop worship. There are no female police officers in the game yet, and provides a neat and tidy way to counter one system of violence with another. I don't know what it is about some people in the United States who want to just scrub any sort of entertainment that paints a grim fucking picture of the world that you're living in, but you don't want anybody to really depict the shit that people go through. The last line is that he says it's impossible to render final judgment on a game that seems more unfinished than not, but so far it's not shaping up to be the kind I would trust to handle the simulation of a school massacre. And this is why this article was written in the first place, because they put the article out last week. Ready or Not was at the top of the Steam list. They wanted people to look in the controversy. Oh God, school shooter level, what the hell? This is bad. This isn't good. These guys, and they dig for absolutely everything they can to paint a picture of Void Interactive as the bad guys for wanting to depict cops in, I guess you would say, a positive light, even though the game's not finished, even though we don't really know what that's going to look like 2 years from now. We have no fucking idea. But because they put the article out and Void Interactive decided to double down on the fact that a school shooter level was going to be put into the game. They doubled down. They said, yes, it is coming, and it will be handled with the care. They didn't bend the fucking knee. So what do? They come out with another article. Only reason this article exists is because Void Interactive didn't bend the fucking knee. And we all see it. Kotaku is the biggest joke that I have ever seen in gaming journalism. And trust me, it's really hard to beat IGN and other platforms for that. But you guys are the biggest pieces of shit that I've ever fucking seen in gaming journalism, and you don't deserve the platform that you have. This isn't a review. This is a scathing hit piece on a game that didn't decide to bend the knee and didn't give in to your woke liberal fucking viewpoints. I'm not going to link the article because I don't think they deserve the views from you. Even if you want to go and leave a comment on there just to talk shit, they still get the ad revenue. Just don't bother giving them a click. I did it for you. This article is the perfect example as to why gaming journalism has fallen so flat in the last, I would say, 5 to 6 years, because it is being politicized, it is being used to push agendas, and it's being used to do everything else but talk about the game, the game's quality, the game's features, and everything else. Where's Kotaku's review of Ready or Not? Even a review in progress, because it is an early access title. Where is it? Guess what? I'll give you the fucking answer. It doesn't exist, because everybody who works at Kotaku don't play games like that. The Polygons, the IGNs, the Kotakus, all of them are fucking jokes. And it's the reason why you see the rise of YouTube content creators taking that space. It's the reason why E3 is being kind of disregarded. It's not needed anymore, because all of these companies can get the press by reaching out to YouTubers to actually play the products. And all I'm going to end this video with is saying, Void Interactive, if you guys end up watching this video, I don't know if you will, don't respond to the shit. It is super unnecessary for you guys to continually post paragraphs on top of black boxes to respond to people who aren't going to play your games anyway. Fuck them. They don't hold the power if you don't give them the power. And that's what this whole video is about. Obviously, this video is going to be bringing light to what Kotaku is doing. Don't fucking feed into it, because you can look at examples like 6 Days in Fallujah as a way of feeding into it and then watching that shit all crumble. They're coming back around the second time a decade later, and people are still attacking them, and they're not responding. They're working, they're getting the game done for a fan base of people who bought into the vision because they want that executed. Fuck Kotaku. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't pay attention and just stop responding. My name is Big Fry. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts. I understand there's going to be a lot of comments saying, ugh, Kotaku writing bad articles? Surprise, surprise. I feel like it's getting out of hand, and I feel like we should just start nipping it in the bud now. Don't give them a click. Don't even support them, because it is nothing but tabloid trash. And I'll see you on the next one.